Welcome into Fantasy Unclean. I am your host, Rich Fiddler, joined as always by Scott Robley and Frodo Carvel. Gentlemen, how are we doing this evening?
I'm on a 2-win streak, so I'm happy.
Oh, yeah? I'm on a 6-win win streak,
in
so
fantasy,
I'm happy.
Not in NFL.
Not in the NFL. No. You're not in the NFL on a 2-win win streak.
No, hopefully
Are
we'll
you
be
at
there.
all concerned?
That I'm 11-1 between the two big leagues?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm fucking terrified. I'm fucking
That
terrified.
your team's just going to fucking...
This is, by the way, the benefit of doing a fab, right?
Yeah.
Like in Dynasty, that's the best part about. Plus, it's also a deep bank, so I got a lot to play there. But in one shitty in our redraft league or keeper league, that's the one where I'm fucking terrified of because I am 6-0 in that league. 6-0, and I haven't been able to get a fucking claim on the waiver wire this season.
In Dynasty, all of us are in the top 4.
Yeah, we are.
That's true, we are.
In fact, this week I think all three of us podiumed.
And
that might have been Dynasty
jumped
or
The three of us had the
top
best.
three-
Yeah.
top 3 scores. Because we're the best.
Yeah. Fuck. I think I'm at fourth at 3-3.
Yeah, in Dynasty.
Yeah.
you and I are both 5-1.
Yep. You got me
Trash-
on points by like 10, 15, 20 points, something like that.
Yeah, and this week, and we'll get into this later, I get my stack back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You finally
in
get your
all
stack.
my leagues.
Yeah, right. You went heavy on the two.
I touted it up. I made my bets, and I made the bed, and I was going to sleep in
you
it.
put all of your money into it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it just so happened that it happened to be your home team as well. So it's not like
It worked out the first 3 weeks.
Oh yeah, I mean you got wins because of it, not in spite of it, but because of it.
Yeah, and then not so much. But I mean, Hill still had Hill and Waddle still had a great week
Hill's
this past
safe.
week. So.
Yeah, Hill's safe virtually with anybody throwing to him.
Yeah,
like he said in that interview.
Yeah. Fuck, I could throw for 180 yards with him. I'm like, oh, there.
I know, right?
I can't see over the line, so it's
Yeah,
very
right.
close to it.
That's
But
okay.
so I'm like,
Yeah.
So I was just looking in our Dynasty League, we have a tie at 3-3 from 4th to 8th. So 5 teams are 3-3.
Or 3-3.
I'm just sitting at the top of it because I've scored more, like 65 more points than the next person.
Guy. Yeah, right. You've had a bad schedule.
the one at the bottom is to be expected.
I have the second most points scored against me in the league.
Yeah.
I have over 100 points, or I have 97 more points scored on me than Frodo, and I have well over 100, or I have 120 points scored on me more than you.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
so
yeah.
I have an entire week of scoring against me over basically the two of you.
Right, and the thing about that is like the lucky thing about that for me, or the not lucky thing about that for me, is that I've also gotten I'm like 3rd in points, so I'm not like I don't like have a bad team. I might be even 2nd in points, but I'm my teams in both leagues because that's the same for both leagues.
You are 3rd in points. Ashley is just ahead of you.
Yeah.
And Frodo's in 1st. I'm in 4th. So I'm in 4th as far as standing and point scoring.
And then Ricky in our redraft league, he's got the Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs stack that he's been riding like crazy through the season so far. He's been just fucking killing it. So he's at the top of the scoring there, but he's not in first place because he's lost.
Because his team he has really good players on his team, but his team is not collectively strong.
Right.
He has that stack of Josh Allen and Diggs.
Yep.
Yeah.
And let's face it, Josh Allen's pretty fucking goddamn good this year.
Pretty fucking good, yeah.
So that's pushed him towards the top end of everything. But yeah, I'm not dead in our main league at 1-5.
No,
you're not.
And it's frustrating that I'm 1-5 because I should be 2-4,
right,
and you should be 5-1. But I tinkered with my goddamn lineup too much.
I know, right?
And I sat somebody that if I haven't sat all year long.
Yeah.
I sat them.
Who did you sit?
I set Brandon Ayuk.
Oh.
Because I anticipated that to be a run game.
Yeah, like everybody else in the world.
So I sat him. I played Jeff Wilson, and between the two of those, I lost out on over 25 points because
How much did Jeff Wilson get you?
negative 0.5.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
not good.
This is
That's not
a fumble or?
Yeah, he had a fumble. He was still the leading rusher on the team.
Okay, so let's talk about San Francisco real quick because
I don't want to.
because the NFL's it's got to be the league's most injury-prone team over the last 5 years. Now, you and I had a discussion about this. We've had a number of discussions about this, but you had a really good theory
Way
the other
too
day.
many.
You had a really good theory about this the other day because my question is why the fuck, how the fuck, why are these guys always so injured? Everybody on the team, no matter what, every season, in and out.
The water there. That's it.
Well,
Water.
that could be it.
Could
There
be.
is a lot of poop in that area.
And
Yeah.
and there's a drought in California, so it's just a very highly like up in Oregon, we shit in our water too. Of course, we're fucking hicks up here, but we've got a lot of water, a lot of
Right.
rain, a lot of water, so it's a diluted poop.
You know, San Francisco, especially where the stadium is not in San Francisco. It's
I like
actually
turtles too, Mason.
it's down in Santa Clara where all the woke Berkeley kids are. So I wonder if like they're just passively affected by the passive aggressiveness, and they just like.
I mean, that could be it.
Yeah.
My thought on this is, is San Francisco does all this motion stuff.
Yeah,
Where the entire team is moving from one side of the field to the other so much. And I feel like because we have all of these groin injuries, we have all of these
High ankles.
ankle, knee issue, hamstrings.
These-
It's all of
these
these things.
cut motion
Yeah, all of this
muscles.
cut motion stuff that we have going on. I think is part of the reason why we have such an issue with lower extremity injuries.
yeah.
I mean, I could be wrong, but
At least you don't play at New York Giants Stadium very often.
I mean, we're down both. I mean, in the last game, we were down both tackles, both starting tackles. We were down both defensive ends, our starting defensive ends. We were down both of our starting cornerbacks.
Okay.
We were down our safety.
Okay,
And then after the game,
those are all important pieces.
Yeah. Like Pro Bowl level players that we're losing.
Right.
In all of these positions.
Right.
And then found out on Monday that Hufanga woke up with concussion symptoms.
Right.
So he's not going to be playing.
Oh,
More
shit.
than likely because of the new
Nice.
And
Groin
who do you guys play
injuries.
again?
Casey.
Oh, ooh.
Oh, at
It's
least that
not
could be a
good.
high-scoring game.
KC off of a loss. Honestly, though, I think you play all of the pass catchers and probably Jimmy Garoppolo because they're gonna have to be trying to fucking throw the ball.
I would rather not play Jimmy Garoppolo.
He was actually QB 5 or something this week.
Was
Oh,
he?
wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they fucking threw the entire goddamn game.
Okay, who would you rather start this week? Jimmy Garoppolo, Frodo. Jimmy Garoppolo or Dak Prescott coming off his injury?
Who are they playing?
Who are they playing?
That's not a fair statement.
All right.
It's Detroit.
Okay, but it's Detroit. So
I'm-
a really, really easy defense
I take Dak.
to beat up on
Yeah.
versus a not easy defense, but one that you're going to have to put up a lot of points on.
These are the three I would, because I just dropped them too. I'd play Trevor Lawrence over Garoppolo. I would play, can't really say Zach Wilson because he's kind of on the tear at the moment. I'd play Jared Goff actually over him.
Jared Goff against
Cowboys.
Against the Cowboys
because they're going to have
defense. They've been
in the same
pretty
aspect they're
suspect
going to have
too,
to
yeah.
throw. But I believe Jared Goff's arm is probably better than Garoppolo's.
Garoppolo, wow. Wow, that's insulting to both Jared Goff and Garoppolo somehow. Yeah, okay, so I was in a weird situation this week where okay, it's not weird. I had Jalen Hurts as I'm in virtually all of my leagues. I targeted him because I loved the value of him, where you got him compared to the rest of the guys. And he's done better than I expected so far.
Yeah.
So we're all happy. Anybody that's got Jalen Hurts is happy, but he's on bye this week, so he's probably not going to put up much points.
Yeah.
So I was looking at the waiver wire to figure out who I've got to stream this week because I didn't follow my own advice and I did not plan ahead. And I'm looking at what's available out there, and I couldn't pick up Dak because I had a low priority waiver claim. And so I had to
Benefits to being in last.
right. So I did
Because I did pick up Dak this week.
right. I know. So I put the waiver in and lost it because of course.
Yeah.
And then
Because I have Kirk Cousin, who's been doing admirable.
He's Kirk Cousins.
admirably.
Yeah, admirably.
He's Kirk Cousins inning it up.
He's not winning me a week, but he's not losing me the week.
So he's being
based
Kirk
on
Cousins.
based on like his score alone.
Yeah.
The rest of my team has been losing me my weeks.
You haven't been in the same boat where I started Teddy Bridgewater one week and got knocked out in first place, scored 0 points, and then Skylar Thompson got knocked out, and Teddy Bridgewater came in and I scored 3.5 points. So
Yeah.
Okay, so, but to my point, I had to figure out somebody to play, and I ended up landing on Marcus Mariota. And
That's solid,
This
actually.
is what I'm hoping for, because he is QB, I think, 11 on the season right now. So, not
He's
bad
actually
at all.
quietly been doing okay.
He's quietly been scoring just a little bit.
Yes.
and I'll get into some weird stats that I've been running down lately, but
Quickly, though, he's QB 11 because QBs have been insanely inconsistent.
unpredictable as shit. So that's my point. Is
Yeah.
I got stats on that sort of shit later, but for right now, this last week he had a stupid efficient game. 13 of 14 passes and 190 yards and 2 touchdowns plus 40 yards on the ground and a touchdown on the ground.
that's where his value comes.
Absolutely. So my thought process this week was, out of all the guys that got to take a dart on, I got to throw a dart on. My floor on him is probably pretty safely 15 points.
I was just going to say 15.
But I could get lucky with some of these if they figured out the formula against Packers. They played this last weekend.
Yeah.
No.
And Packers played the Jets.
Okay,
Yeah.
so who was it that upset that the Falcons upset? They upset somebody.
The Niners.
Niners. Yeah.
Oh, shit. See, you actually kind of ruined my joke. I was going to make him say the Niners out loud. Anyway.
He did. That's what he said.
On
I know.
what should have been a good defense.
Yes.
This was by far our worst defensive game.
Yes. And so they might have figured out the formula to winning a football game if you're a Falcon.
Play against an entirely beat up defense, and that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
And protect the ball, run the ball at all costs, and don't make Mariota win the game for you.
Weirdly, they didn't run the ball that well.
I know. They were not efficient, but they did stick to the plan, right?
Right.
They
Yeah.
played ball control, and they ended up pulling out an upset win. So I'm riding with Mariota this week, and I feel weird about that, but I'm also okay with that. And in one league, Aaron Rodgers is available, and I didn't even blink at it.
No.
I actually looked at it because of the matchup
This week?
going up against
Yep.
Washington.
Yep.
I looked at it and I went, I don't think anybody else is going to pick him up. If for some reason I don't get Dak, which I should have because I'm in last once again, but if for whatever reason I didn't get him or Dak couldn't play,
Yeah.
I was like, I'll just pick up Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
He has since been picked up,
Yeah.
yeah,
and
Ricky
you are
picked
playing
him.
against him now.
I'm totally happy with that.
Right. I mean, it's worst case scenario, you end up with, I mean, if Aaron Rodgers has a great game this week for 2022 Aaron Rodgers, then he'll put up 20, 22, 23 points.
Yeah.
I'm hoping
Not
all
the
of
40
his
that
points.
Allen's capable of.
I'm hoping that all of his points go to Romeo Dobbs.
Yeah? Are you riding high on Romeo Dobbs this week?
I'm not riding high on him, but I think with Cobb going down,
Yep.
Dobbs has been getting a lot of work.
He's been getting a lot of work. He has not
He's-
executed properly.
He's been on
but-
the field a ton.
Yep.
So I feel like he's got, obviously Lazard's going to be the number one target as far as that goes.
Yep.
And then Aaron Jones, I think will have a much more
Productive.
productive game.
This is
this
so
time.
weird about fucking the Packers. Like, I don't understand how they can misutilize their running back so badly.
They have a giant at one running back position,
Who
Yeah.
they've been throwing the ball to a whole bunch.
which
Yes.
I'm fine with because I have him on one of my teams.
But Aaron Jones is the better running back. We all know it.
As
no,
far
he's
as-
a better pass catcher.
Yes.
You want to put Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon on a 1 yard run, and it's stacked goal line defense. You're going to edge to
100%.
Quadrosaurus.
But there's 99 other yards that need to be gained in that game.
Yeah. If you're out there for a run up the middle, you're playing AJ Dillon.
Absolutely.
Or if you're up there for a quick
A two,
we
third and two.
we want to get 3 yards here.
Yep.
That's the type of spot where you can put AJ Dillon out there and you can say, hey, they're going to load the box, and then we can go, hey, here's a pitch.
Let me ask you this. Why aren't they putting them both out there?
Honestly,
They're
I
not playing
don't-
split back hardly at all, and I don't understand it. Because imagine having this giant of a man that can run through brick walls, and having this guy over here that is quick, elusive, and a great pass catcher.
It's kind of like when the Patriots had both Gronk and Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah, yeah.
And they put
They
them
just
on
shoot
both.
everybody.
They put both in. Put both of them on the ends.
Yeah.
They didn't block. They weren't there to block.
Nope.
no.
They were out there to fucking catch the ball because there was no. I mean, you had Wes Welker outside of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, the slot receiver.
And they killed it.
Yeah.
Figuratively and literally.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I mean, they just absolutely murdered that. Yeah.
What I think maybe because when Hackett left, he took all the smart decision making at running back and took that to Denver, where you bench the guy who cut into Javonte Williams' fantastic talent level at 50-50, and then you bench him for old ass Latavius Murray. So
Yeah, Melvin Gordon had. If you guys don't know, then
The
you're not
starter.
paying attention.
he's now the starter again.
The starter
I mean,
going
in all
into
fairness,
the
he
week
started
6,
last week too.
The starter going into week 6 was Melvin Gordon, and he got 3 carries,
8 snaps
Yeah.
and 3 carries.
8 snaps and 3 carries, and then was benched.
Yeah.
And I don't know why.
Nobody knows why.
Nobody knows why.
They haven't. They didn't. They said he didn't do anything wrong.
Yep. And then Melvin Gordon talked a lot of shit afterwards because what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
And then Melvin Gordon and I think KJ Hamler were talking about.
you-
oh
on
no,
the
it was Jerry
sideline,
Jeudy.
Jerry
Yeah.
Jeudy, yeah.
You can't tell me that they wouldn't have been more productive
Right.
with Melvin Gordon on the field.
Yep.
Right.
I don't care. Latavius Murray is he's had his time, and he's had his times where they've been he's been very usable.
Yeah.
And he's beyond that. Melvin Gordon is not. And if you watch him run over the last couple of weeks, he has been fumbling. He's
Yeah.
been very lucky with his fumbling. But coach him better.
Yeah.
Fumbling is a matter of coaching. It is not a matter of
I don't know if he's able to. as a
coach any
coach.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah, coach any better.
That
Yes.
that may be true. I don't remember who it was. I want to. Somebody was saying like their rookie year they had like maybe it was Adrian Peterson or something. I don't remember. Somebody was saying that they had like 14 fumbles or something like that their rookie year.
Yeah.
And then they literally carried a ball with them.
Yep.
That was
All-
as Tiki Barber.
Tiki Barber.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Literally.
Tiki Barber.
That's why he started running with the ball upright like this.
Yeah, literally
Because
carried
all
a
he did
ball
was
with
carried
him
it
for,
around all
for
day long.
all waking hours.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like he had a ball with him all of the time.
And people in the building were instructed to knock it out.
Yeah.
And so he'd
He's
be walking down the
constantly-
hall,
yeah.
and the accountant would try and punch it out. And I'm like, that's a way to coach a guy.
Right. Right.
Like, that guy's gonna protect that ball, and if you drop this ball, I'm gonna find out about it, and you're gonna run a mile for every time that drops.
You drop a ball, you run a mile.
Drop a ball, you run a mile. Drop a ball, you run a mile.
Remember the Titans.
So, yeah, I don't know, man. That was a very questionable decision, and a season long of Denver making questionable decisions.
The teams that you thought would be excel, like the Packers and Broncos, Raiders, like you sit here and you're scratching your head, like you looked like you would fucking dominate Tampa Bay. And your tweet that you sent me, the fact that Tom Brady came out of retirement just to phase out in the saddest possible way.
Yeah.
that you came back.
Right now, it looks like Father Time has caught Tom Brady.
Yes.
Right. But really, I think it's probably more about attention span. I'm not sure that I buy fully into the whole narrative that he went to a party on Friday night, Robert Kraft's
Wedding.
And then I would think I was listening to Pat McAfee, and they were talking about how he too isn't sure that really had an impact on the game. But the idea that he goes to a wedding, doesn't hang out with the team on Saturday, and then goes to the game and then chews out his offensive line.
And that's one of the things they were talking about. Like
the optics
when
are
somebody
bad.
said that guys get days off all the time.
Yeah.
And like they said, you get a day off during the week. You don't get a day off.
You don't get Fridays, you don't get
on
Saturdays.
Saturday walkthroughs.
Yep.
Right.
Like those aren't days off.
And by the way, what the fuck are you doing, Robert Kraft?
Right.
You're an NFL owner. What are you doing having a wedding in the middle of the football season?
Yeah.
Well, because the
And
new
maybe
Chinese
he's inviting-
massage opened up. So
Maybe he's inviting only expatriates, expats, and he's but not current Patriots. So that way his team is solid, but everybody else's team takes a hit.
I don't know. I heard that Jerry Jones told him not to fuck with him when to yell that.
Yeah.
Robert
Again,
Kraft.
we don't know if that actually
It's
happened
true,
or
yeah.
not because that
But
was
it's a
that's-
Jerry
Jerry
Jones thing to
Jones
say.
said, "Don't
Jerry
fuck
Jones. Jerry Jones said something. So
Someone
reports
reported.
are that Jerry Jones basically told Robert Kraft,
Not
"Don't
to-
fuck with me, Bob."
Don't fuck
Yeah.
with me, Bob."
But that was supposedly in a owners meeting.
And what was that about in regards to?
It has to do with
Is it
no Jerry Jones wanted more according to the report, Jerry Jones wanted more specifics on the escalators in Goodell's contract. And basically, because Goodell gets paid based on what the NFL does.
Yes.
But obviously, right now, the NFL is in this place because viewership is so high. They're signing deals with Amazon and all this other stuff. That has nothing to do with Roger Goodell.
Right.
Probably not. Probably not.
I mean, Roger Goodell was sitting right next to Jeff Bezos at one of the games.
Right. But what I'm saying is
But
the fact
most execs don't actually have that much of an impact on their team.
the fact
on
that
their companies.
that shitty NFL Thursday night games are still still more watched than playoff anything.
Yeah, non-NFL.
Not
yeah.
non-NFL playoff games.
Yeah.
With terrible teams that the game's going to
That's
be
not
awful.
Roger Goodell.
That's not Roger Goodell. That's the NFL being the NFL.
Right.
Yeah.
So it sounds more like Jerry Jones was wanting more specifics on how he was meeting these benchmarks.
Yeah.
Not just a blanket, hey, if the NFL's growing type thing.
Right.
Is
Who's got an easier job in the world than Roger Goodell to make $50 million a year?
That's probably on the low side.
Yeah, probably
That
nobody.
was his signed contract was $50 million
Yeah,
a
but then
year.
he has all these
But then he's
escalators.
got the escalators on top of that. So
So-
let's call it minimum 50 million or maximum. Let's call it $50 million a year without escalators.
Yeah.
And who's got an easier job than him? Jeff Bezos now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe not back in the day.
Yeah.
I mean,
but yeah, so that's what it sounded like is it was an argument based off of that.
so then there's also this Dan Snyder thing where Dan Snyder's got this dossier apparently on all of the NFL or on 6 to 8 of the NFL owners.
Basically the top people.
The top guys, the Robert Kraft, the Jerry Jones, and
Because there's no
Stephen
doubt
Ross has to be in there somewhere.
there's no doubt that Jerry Jones is the most influential owner, NFL owner.
he's certainly the most public, and
Yeah.
That's what that's why he's the most influential.
right.
He's got to be one of the oldest, longest running owners at this point too.
Yeah, has.
I would guess so. Yeah.
But yeah, the whole Dan Snyder thing, because there's this investigation going on into him and whatnot, and now he's got his PR guy coming out saying that they won't want him out of the league once all this information comes
Right.
out because Jim Irsay has come out and basically
Jim Irsay, who's not exactly a great guy to begin with.
right, but also doesn't hide from that.
Nope.
Yeah.
Like he owns his shit.
Yep. I made mistakes.
Yeah,
And
he owns
yeah.
his shit, and so when he's coming out, when any NFL owner is coming out and saying, yeah, we probably need to get this guy out of here, that's pretty goddamn telling.
Right, and so, I mean, there's a number of Dan Snyder things. There's obviously hostile work environment. There's sexual harassment complaints. The most recent thing is his ticket holder fraud.
How about the fan that won $14,000?
Yes. Yeah. So they do this 50-50 raffle. I don't know what that means, but they do this raffle, and
it was game one of the year.
First game of the year. And the fan that won it got his $14,000 check.
Yeah.
And it bounced. Bounced. NSF.
How is that even possible?
Jesus, man. Like,
how pissed off would you be? Like, what do you do?
Right?
What
like,
do you?
who am I calling?
Yeah.
Like,
I think if you're
Congress?
if you're Commanders or Redskin, whatever you want to fucking call them,
Commies?
commies, and you see it bounce, you're like, it's about fucking right.
fucking checks out. That checks out. Okay. Jesus, man. I don't know. Look, the NFL is a shit show, and all we try to do is keep the shit at least in the light, and then maybe try and weed out the worst of it. And then we just try and live with the rest.
So speaking of the worst, can we talk about the absolute worst team in the NFL to watch right now?
God, who is that? I'm so afraid you're about to say Seahawks.
They're actually fun to watch.
They are fun to
Bears?
watch.
No. It's Denver.
Denver. For
Denver is
sure.
100% the worst team to watch.
God, dude, they're so predictably bad too.
Yeah.
Like I mean, they're 2-4 now.
15 yards. 15 yards is what Russell Wilson.
110.
Yeah.
In the first quarter.
First quarter.
10 for 10, 110 and a touchdown.
Yeah.
We saw
One
him
of the
rushing
best
the ball.
Yep. He was moving around. He was moving the ball.
But from the second quarter to the end of overtime, because all of their games go into overtime now because we just haven't seen enough.
Yep. Yeah. Oh my God.
So almost 3 entire quarters of football, he threw for 15 yards.
So I can't help but
15.
Three whole ass quarters.
What was this? This because like sacks
2,
negated it?
Well,
Was that
if you include
4.
the second quarter,
Oh,
it was like 37 because he threw like 17 yards in the second quarter.
How is that even possible? You accidentally throw 15 yards by like a couple of hitches that go 3 or 4 yards.
I don't know. I really want to shit on Russell Wilson because it's really fun to do.
Well, the other thing that's really the other thing that makes it really easy is all of the photos that come out afterwards of completely open receivers that he just doesn't see.
There's no question about it that there is something different about Russell Wilson this year versus last year, and it has to be the number one thing that I think it has to be is I don't know if it's play.
His
play
alter
design,
persona is taking over.
Mr. Unlimited.
It's Mr. Limited right now.
Mr. Hyper Limited.
Yeah.
Mr. Incompleted.
Yeah.
So it's the offense, the offensive scheme. I don't want to end the stream.
Yeah.
Fuck you. So it's the offensive scheme that he's learning, hasn't learned, / relationships, camaraderie with his receivers.
That I think is the number one.
Which sounds like that's an issue for him in the first place.
Become cancerous.
Yeah. So the big storyline this week is Richard Sherman's podcast. He had Marshawn Lynch on there, and sort of as a throwaway comment, the both of them were talking about how you can't get a hold of Russell Wilson without calling his team, his people. And if you want to build rapport with your team,
seriously, like I listened to that, but I didn't catch all of it.
No.
So
Marshawn Lynch legit said,
I'd love to call my guy,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to call. But you can't. He doesn't have his phone number.
like,
he has
you
his
can't
manager's
call
phone
him
number.
directly.
And Marshawn Lynch says, "Look, if I can't call you, then fuck you. I'm not going to call you."
Yeah.
And what Pat McAfee was talking about was, as a punter on the team, he's like, I'm the lowest of the low on the team.
Yeah.
And I've got I've got Peyton's phone number. I've got Peyton's dad's phone number.
Yeah.
I've got Peyton's brother's phone number. Like I can call anybody on that team, in that family, because that guy knows how to lead.
Yeah.
And so if you can't lead a team, then who gives a shit how talented
And what
you
you
are?
see on the sidelines points to the fact that he does not have that locker room.
The narrative is fitting right now.
If they were winning, it would be completely different. But the fact that they are not winning,
And they're
and they are
it's not even not like they're close games. It's just like
they are close games because the defense is
They're
fantastic.
doing so good.
But the
defense
offense
is playing really
has
well.
been just absolutely abysmal.
Yeah,
They have one touchdown in 3 weeks.
Yeah,
3 games.
Yeah,
One touchdown in 3 games.
they're the lowest scoring team in the NFL.
You know who's not the lowest scoring team in the NFL?
Seahawks.
Fucking Seahawks.
Yeah.
With Geno Smith. Fuck you. I mean, what the hell is going on?
It reminds me, I think, because I think we all put the Seahawks in the grave, but the cloud and the pressure of Russell Wilson and all his shit
Yes.
has transferred, and now it's just like, hey, let's go out and just play football.
There is so much pressure. To give Russell Wilson some credit, there is so much pressure on him to succeed.
Yeah,
Not that there hasn't been pressure on him before, but there is more than I can possibly remember on anybody besides Tom Brady season 1 of Tampa Bay.
yeah.
And similar.
That looks fucking like a cakewalk compared to what Russell Wilson's
Right.
going
I
through.
mean, like everybody thought we're looking at 2021 Broncos, and we're going, these guys are so close to being amazing.
Yeah.
Right.
They're missing.
They still are.
They're missing a quarterback, and then they get the quarterback. They get a top 5
I
quarterback.
saw a really
But then
funny
they get the
tweet.
bad coach.
I
then
saw
you get-
a really funny tweet that was something about, hey, so Broncos fans, since our quarterback's not able to do anything, there's this guy in Seattle that just hasn't gotten a legit chance, and I really think that if he just got a legit shot, he'd be able to like prove that
Yeah.
he's a competent quarterback, and I just think we should give Drew Lock a
I
try.
knew it. I knew. I was like, oh, this is going Geno Smith, and then I was like, wait, no, it's Drew Lock.
How happy is Noah Fant to not be on that team?
Dude, he was probably really bummed out.
Yeah.
when he
And
got
now he's
traded.
like,
and now
fuck
he's like, oh,
this.
fuck those guys. Except that all the tight ends are the only ones scoring any fucking points
True.
over there for the first time in Russell Wilson's career.
Yeah.
What were you saying about like the locker room not believing, buying in, and it really ruins? I was saying a little bit because Tua actually came out and was talking to Presser today. It was his first time out, and he said he doesn't remember the hit. And well, no shit. But
Right. I
Jalen
got
Waddle,
concussed watching that.
Jalen Waddle was interviewed as well, and he's like, no, he's like, as much as Mike McDaniels, everyone said, oh no, we should be able to win with whoever's there.
Yeah.
There is a different persona when
Yeah.
Tua
Absolutely.
was there.
The team functions different
And-
when Tua's out there.
Waddle
Absolutely.
said he's like, that's our leader, and he's back.
Yeah.
And
That's great. That's
and-
great.
there are some quarterbacks that can come out and a team can rally behind
Yeah.
and they can win games, such as the way Cooper Rush did with
Yeah.
Dallas.
Yeah.
Because everybody said this team is going to do nothing now.
Right.
There was no pressure on him to do anything.
Right.
Because everybody said Dallas is done. As soon as Dak went down, they
Yep.
said Dallas is out of the playoff run.
Yep.
Yeah.
Including us, by the way.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's-
100%.
We own
Yeah.
it. Like that. We thought Cooper Rush, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Everybody
That
did.
bullshit.
Everybody did.
Yeah.
So he goes into these games.
They don't have Andy Dalton.
He goes into these games going, I'm just going to go out here and play football.
Yeah.
I think part of it was his name. It sounds like he's a character from Tony Hawk's Skate.
Well, Pat McAfee, they called him Cooper Cush.
Yeah.
Cooper Kush.
But yeah, if your locker room and stuff doesn't believe in you,
Yeah.
like it's like a cancer.
Especially as a starting quarterback, not
Right.
just a backup
Yeah,
quarterback.
for sure.
It's like having a bad manager that like you're like, fuck this place. It went from a great workplace to they can go
Yeah.
suck my left nut.
It makes you think that you wonder if Russell Wilson went down due to injury, if the team might rally behind the guy behind him, because that guy's not. I don't. Ripien.
Who is it?
Ripien.
Ripien?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris Ripien.
Yeah, Mark Rippen's son.
Mark Ripien.
Mark Rippon was the guy who was the quarterback for the Redskins back in the day. His son,
Yeah.
Is the
backup.
backup. Okay, so if he goes in because
That team will play better.
because Russell Wilson will, go down due to his hamstring or his pectoral or whatever is injured, his
Labrum,
shoulder.
yeah.
And then I virtually guarantee that that team will play better because everybody will elevate to try and help out Ripien. Rippin? Is it really Rippin?
It's just ripping.
That's fucking stupid. Because there is an Rypian, right? I think it
RYPIE. Yeah, it's ripping. That's how you pronounce it.
Rypian.
Yeah, it's ripping.
Rippin.
Mark Rippin.
That's stupid. That's just stupid. Rippin, fucking.
Yeah.
Here. Just to your name. Everything else, we good.
Nonetheless, they need to not be on primetime anymore because those games are just so
Do
painful.
they have
to
any
watch.
other prime time? You're looking at the schedule.
I'm looking at what they play Jets, then Jacksonville bye.
I don't think they have. I think when I
it's
was
it.
looking through primetime games that were left,
Yeah.
I don't think they have any other primetime games.
Okay.
Other than the possibility of towards the end of the season, but that would all depend because those are all to be determined.
Yeah.
Um,
And they're not likely to get flexed into position at this point.
No.
Are they done for the season? I mean, at this point,
yes,
do you think
absolutely
that
has
they
to
can
be.
come back from a 2-4?
I don't think so.
not unless something majorly changes in that team.
Yeah.
So,
With KC being in control of the division,
Yeah.
and you now have losses to both Vegas and Chargers.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
did they beat Vegas? No, Vegas.
Vegas beat
No,
them.
Vegas beat them.
Yeah.
Vegas beat them.
So
they beat the 49ers and... Fuck, who else did they beat?
Who?
Broncos.
Uh,
Oh, you have them right there? Oh, wait.
no,
That's
I
not
just
the
have
Jets.
primetime. Here, I
Yeah.
can go back here. It's in my Russell Wilson. They lost to Seattle. They beat Houston and San Francisco, and then lost the rest.
So the big news, the big fun stat line this week has been that if you think that your fantasy team is doing bad, worse than last year, it's because you're right, and that everybody's
All
team,
teams are.
all teams are down, and that there have been 100 or 110 less touchdowns than 2021 or 2020. I'm not sure which one it was.
Yep.
But 2020 and 2021 are very similar in terms of production.
Yeah, from 20 to 21, it was like 20 less touchdowns through week 6.
Okay.
And then it's like 100 touchdowns less
And so
from 21 to 22.
I tried to pick apart this data, and I'm not a data analyst, so I try not to get too into this, but because the story or the famous line is data can tell you whatever story you want it to tell, right? And so what I did was I ran the numbers on the top 300 fantasy players in the first 5 weeks, not 6 weeks, because that was, even though we're through 6 weeks, I wanted to do through 5 weeks because that's the last week that all teams play.
Right.
So you have a consistent data range, right?
Fair enough.
So I did top 300 players, and then I wanted to break it down by fantasy points total scored. And 2020 and 2021 are literally within 20 points of each other on a 4,000 or 5,000 point scale. So they're right there at the same spot. I think one is 3997 and one of them is 4,011 or something like that. They're right there. And then there's a massive drop there's a 500 point drop between 2021 and 2022.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was looking at the stats per player, which sound very small, a very small difference. But basically it's 27.5 points per player in the first half of the top 150 players of fantasy. There's a 1 point difference, a 1 point reduction in the top half of players. So you don't think that that's very much because it's just 1 point, but that's 1 point per player.
Right, per player.
1 point per player. The top third of players have dropped 3%. The second third of players have dropped 8%, and the third third of players have dropped 12%. Meaning the scale gets worse and worse the further down you get.
I mean, just alone, if you looked at just running backs from last year to this year, that's got to be such a massive difference because
I didn't split that out, and I should because that's got to be where
running
it's at.
backs are just awful this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. The top performers, Barkley, obviously, but you got him into the second, start of the third.
Yeah, all of your top end running backs
Outside of Eckler now.
Eckler has come back the last few weeks.
Yeah.
But outside of that, there's been nothing with that.
Yeah.
And you have all of these games hitting the under, and there's so many teams that are 3-3, or 4-2, or 2-4.
Yeah.
The top team in the AFC is alone at 5-1, and that's the Bills. Every other team is 4-2 or worse.
There is not an undefeated team
in the AFC.
Correct.
No.
Yeah.
And then there's only one. And then there's a couple of
and
one-loss
one
teams.
Is exactly who we thought it would be, the Philadelphia Eagles, right?
Well,
like we all assumed that the Philadelphia Eagles would be undefeated.
Well, I did.
But we did think that the Philadelphia
for the Super
Eagles.
Bowl.
Yeah,
we did, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
We did think that the Philadelphia Eagles were going to win that division, though.
Yes, we did.
Like
we thought that they were going to be the top of that division.
We all picked different teams and whatnot.
Yep.
But
I'm not sure I would have picked them to go through the conference.
I'm pretty sure you said Dallas was going to end as the number 1, and I'm pretty sure you said Washington.
No.
I've got it. I can look it up.
Yeah.
Pre-draft.
Yay, sports. What's up, Amanda? How you doing? So
I think I picked the Eagles for that division.
So the interesting thing, another interesting thing is the top half of the players versus the bottom half of the players on this stat sheet is, so in 2020 and 2021, the bottom half was 44% worse, meaning they're supposed to be worse because they're the bottom half, right? But they were 44% worse. This year, they're 54% worse.
Jesus.
So the drop off actually after the top 30 is unbelievable. Like the top 30 have a 2% lower scoring percentage this season. Everybody else has like a 10% lower scoring percentage. So the top 30 are doing exactly what the top 30 are supposed to do.
Right.
They're maybe not who we thought they were going to be, but the top 30 stayed pretty consistent. They are, in fact, lower, though. Everybody else is massively lower. Massively lower.
It's one of those years where you expected a lot, but now you're like temper your expectations.
And so now I don't know what to. So how do we attribute this to something? My theory is that everybody that's in now were sophomores or juniors in college during the COVID lost season.
Yeah.
And so my theory is that the rookies, and I haven't been able to split out this data that far, but that the rookies between last year and this year have not been nearly as good as generations past because of the lack of playing time and lack of experience.
I mean, last year's rookies, the 2021.
Let's take out the top couple of wide receivers, though. Because we've had some unbelievably successful
2020
wide
was a loaded draft. You had, obviously quarterback Herbert, Burrow, Tua. You had Jalen, not Jalen.
2020?
2020 was.
Yep.
2021.
So these guys are the guys that had 3 full seasons plus a shortened COVID season.
Yeah, 2021 you saw JT came out in 2022,
Yep.
but and a couple receivers I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was mostly QB and running back in that one.
Yep.
21 CeeDee Lamb was in that draft, and Justin Jefferson, so obviously good.
Yep.
Last year you had Jalen Waddle, you had Jerry G really hasn't done much on that, but Jamar Chase.
Yep.
You had who else was really the big receivers last year that really came? I mean, some performs, but you're like Elijah Moore and stuff like that. Were all kind of like that middling, but the two big ones that really broke out were Waddle and Chase.
And so you have to wonder how much these lost COVID seasons have affected the NFL. And I mean, maybe I'm just grasping at straws. Maybe this is totally unbacked by actual data. I haven't been able to run the data based on age, and I've been trying to, but I have, or experience, more importantly.
Yeah, because they would have been probably freshman's a sophomore during that, and then they redshirt because most NFL players come out junior year.
Right.
Because they don't want to take a senior year for additional contact and cut their NFL short.
Right. And why finish out college if you're going to make $20 million a year throwing a football?
Right. Or catching
Or
one.
receiving a football.
Or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But I think this upcoming draft in 2023 might flip that around. I think it's weird how it goes in like waves. It's like the ocean. Like there'll be some really just absolutely fucking stellar drafts, and then long drought of just like, well, none
And
of
then
that
there's
panned
waves of defensive drafts versus offensive drafts.
or offensive
and
lines.
like that.
And, yeah.
I mean, she's not wrong.
Balls and the injuries and in between.
Is that the taint?
Yes.
Yes.
The in between is the taint.
Taint injuries.
Yeah.
We
You know what I don't
definitely
think
talk
women
taint injuries.
give us enough credit for? Our taint is much wider than theirs, right? Like we have a very large taint compared to women.
Well, yes.
And there is a large damageable area there. And if you pull your taint, like we could pull a taint. I don't think women can actually pull a taint.
yeah,
I
I don't
have
think they
pulled
can.
my taint before.
I ripped my taint in two.
Did you really?
Well, it was my groin, but yeah.
My groin.
It instead of like like the avulsion fracture, which it comes off the bone.
Yeah.
No, it just ripped in the middle because it's
Oh,
kind of
it's
like a webbing.
It's split down the middle. Oh
Yeah,
my God, dude.
it's kind of webbed underneath and it seared and like, floop.
Too late. That's where we took it.
Yeah, it felt like, if you can imagine, someone takes a red hot poker and shoves it right inside your taint.
That does not sound good. Fun.
No, I screamed a
I
little
just
bit when
came
it
a little
happened. I was 16
So a
and
little bit of jizz came out.
16 and I was playing roller hockey and
Yeah, this is all your fault, Amanda.
yeah, I stretched out so I could almost do the splits, and then the guy got pushed over the back of me and it went, "Fruit," and then searing pain, and then I had 4 balls.
Ouch.
God.
You know what looks great for your dating prowess in high school is carrying around a butt donut so you can sit on it after your groin surgery.
So,
Ouch.
don't worry, this is just for my taint. My dick is all good, baby.
I
So
can
anyway,
get
how's your
priority
taint?
parking.
I don't know. So I don't know. We don't know what why the cause of the downfall of points are this season, but it may be defenses cluing in on this wave of sort of mobile quarterbacks. Maybe it's
Last year was
know.
such a, I mean, okay, 2020 was a fucking crapshoot with COVID and the games. And then you had kind of the first full year. And I think really defenses have now had a time to, outside of like some coaches with new coaching schemes, like McDaniels kind of, some of that, but that's also Shanahan, is like some teams will excel
yeah.
in that, like the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
Buffalo Bills are the bully. Like they just
Buffalo
like,
Bills
we're
are the
going to
most
do what we want to
well-rounded
do.
team in the NFL, right? Like I don't think any of us are in disagreement there. Their defense is solid, not great.
No.
Their offense is elite.
And it'd feel illegal if they got CMC.
Right, that should be a hate crime.
The Eagles are. I mean, the Eagles are a pretty freaking well-rounded team. Though.
They are.
They may be like. I mean, that may be like a 1A, 1B
I
conversation.
haven't looked at their schedule compared to the Bills yet. I'd wonder if their schedule has been a little bit easier compared
And that
to
could
the
be
Bills.
true.
Could be. I'm not saying it is. Any sports cricket, I don't care.
They both did
Cricket.
just go against
Dude, I
5 or
have
4 and 1
nightmares
teams.
about starting a fantasy league about cricket. Like
Why?
Like I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
Like
I don't even understand how cricket is
cricket
played.
looks like the most fun game that I have no clue how to play. Like it's baseball / golf / I think fucking.
I
what's
think
that?
you'd rather play rugby than cricket, though, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I
yes,
would.
but that's because I understand rugby better.
A little
Better, a little better, but better. Like I don't know. Like I have zero desire to play basketball because I'm so.
I
bad.
know that a cricket game can go on like a baseball game, where it can literally go on
Just literally go
for
on forever.
days.
Yeah, for days and days.
And there's some weird-ass rules.
R.I.P. Mariners.
Yeah.
And there's some weird ass rules in cricket that I'm
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I sent it to you guys the other day when there was when there
No,
was a,
okay, hold on. We actually, so I like what you're saying there, Todd, but actually what happened there is I flipped the camera. So that way, when I point right, it's my actual right. So Rich is in the same seat. I just flipped the camera the right way. So don't worry, nothing's different. You're just looking at it different, like my taint. Anyway,
And in all fairness, I was over there for
That's
a
true.
long time.
That's true, but Todd didn't care.
Yeah.
Because he was married.
That's true.
But then allegedly, his wife died of natural causes. I'm not sure. But, allegedly.
Sorry, Todd.
Let's see.
I'm just saying, have you seen the autopsy report?
No.
Baltimore has the easiest remaining schedule.
Of course they do.
Atlanta has the second easiest. Tampa Bay third.
Atlanta could go on a run.
Carolina, KC.
What's Atlanta got right now?
Atlanta has their tougher ones are the Chargers, the Bucks, Bengals, and Ravens. They play Carolina twice, Chicago, Washington, Steelers, Saints, and Cardinals.
Fuck yeah, dude. You're feeling pretty good if you're Marcus Mariota right now.
Niners have the sixth easiest remaining. Their tough ones are Chiefs, Chargers, Bucks, Rams, Dolphins, Seahawks.
Yeah, like none of that sounds super easy.
That's the toughest part of theirs.
Yeah.
The easiest is Raiders, Washington, Saints, and Cardinals twice.
By the way, Tariq Woolen of the Seahawks being the number one pass defender in the NFL right now, like more picks than anybody else. That's fucking sweet, dude.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Jack, but also defense is on the field quite a bit.
Yeah.
So,
But that says something. I mean, because
Yeah.
he's still out there making plays the entire game. I think as of right now, I think Sauce Gardner's got a really good line for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah,
he's played
rookie of the
really
year or
well.
defensive rookie of the year?
Rookie
Do you
of the
think
year. Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Defensive Rookie
I'm
of
not
the
sure
year.
that rookie of the year ever goes to defense.
Yeah.
Offensive Rookie of the Year, I'd say probably
Right
Olave.
now, it's. I mean,
I've forgotten
Depending-
all of the
or
rookies
Pierce.
of this year.
depending on how it goes, I mean, Brees Hall's been looking good these
yeah,
last few
Brees
weeks
Hall's been on
too.
a tear,
So
too. Yeah.
if the Jets keep putting some wins together,
Yeah.
I mean, both
Garrett
Sauce
Wilson,
Gardner and Brees Hall could be.
and Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
But I
Garrett
think,
Wilson
yeah,
has been pretty quiet the
Brees
last
Hall's
couple of
been
weeks.
a stud.
Not switching around. Fucker. I think we're frozen. I mean, we're still streaming. We're fine, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to switch the
okay.
camera over
Oh.
to you guys.
Anyways, but yeah, I
Fuck
mean,
it.
I'm
I'm going to go take a leak.
All right.
we grab me a drink on the way back.
So injuries.
Oh yeah,
Aside from my entire defense and offensive line being injured, we'll just gloss over that one.
we got. Well, we'll start at the quarterback position. Dak Prescott's coming back.
Yeah.
So-
Because I picked him up this week, I really hope that Dak Prescott, I feel like I have the angel and the devil right now.
Yeah,
Because
you have a Cowboy.
the angel on my shoulder goes, yeah, let's go Cowboys. And then the devil on my shoulder goes, fuck the Cowboys.
Right.
I hope they lose
Yeah,
every game.
yeah,
What I really hope for
is they lose, but you still win.
is 2 years ago, right before he broke his ankle,
Oh,
where
yeah.
they were putting up 60 points
But losing?
and losing.
Yeah, those
Where he was
fantastic.
literally dropping 40 points every week in
Yeah.
fantasy. That's what I need.
Yeah, they put so much weight on his back, his ankle literally snapped.
Yes, literally snapped.
Whipped. Couple quarterbacks that are he's coming back. Tua is cleared. He's coming back. He looks. I don't have any worries there. The Russell Wilson, you're not really starting Russell Wilson unless you have to, like I have to in a league.
Yeah,
He's
who
doing-
thought in the world that you wouldn't want to start Tom Brady? You wouldn't want to
Pepsi.
start. No, I'm good right now.
Okay, I'll do the Pepsi. Yeah, cherry Pepsi.
You wouldn't want to start Aaron Rodgers. You wouldn't want to start Tom Brady. You wouldn't really want to start Kyler Murray. I mean, all of these quarterbacks that normally are your safe
your
bets.
studs.
What?
People drafted high.
The people drafted high,
Thank you.
and you can't. You literally, I mean, in most leagues, I think Aaron Rodgers was getting dropped, and Tom Brady's getting dropped.
Hasn't said a word.
Just that said a word. Oh wow. Anyways, so
She
Mac,
knows not to talk to the cops.
yeah, she's not a snitch. Mac Jones still out, so it's still Zappy time.
Zappy.
Carson Wentz, who fucking cares? He's out.
Taylor Heineke's in.
Heineke is in. I picked him up because I needed a quarterback. Thankfully, I was able to
You
snag
didn't
him.
pick him up in one league.
No, I didn't fucking care about that. Yeah, some guy. Talk about over fucking bidding. So, I'm in a 10-team super flex.
That's the thing that, like, it's a 10-team league.
Yeah, this is like a 16
gotta be somebody out there that you can play.
There is. There's a couple that I would rather.
It's super flex.
It's super flex. But
get
the
it.
dude has Zach Wilson and Lamar Jackson and
which one
Mac
of the-
Jones.
Which one of those three are on bye or injured?
None.
Mac Jones might be injured.
He's uninjured, but you're still starting Zach Wilson.
So Zach Wilson and Lamar Jackson are playing this week. Neither of them are on bye.
Right.
So
And
he
he-
needs his backup
That's
to
the thing.
ride the bench.
He spent
All his fab.
Yeah, he spent $100 of his fab for a player that is going to be in there for 4 to 6 weeks.
Right. Maybe
Because they
longer if he
pay
goes
hard-
on a run.
they
And are
paid-
you going to pay him, are you going to play him over Zach Wilson?
No.
No. Yeah, it's,
Except on a bye.
Yeah.
So both of those guys are probably going to fall into a
But
bye.
the other thing I kind of curious about was, is there other people in your,
That's what I want to know.
like,
What were the other bids?
did he just,
here, I'll show you.
Yeah.
So
also, did he just play it safe because
Two
there's
bids.
other players that were in there that had $100 of fab? Or did he not look and see that everybody else has spent some money?
almost everyone except for I have 55 left, and a lot of the places are 90, 94,
Okay, so-
59. He's
So
zero.
he had to basically push all of his chips in if he
He's
wanted
in
to
last.
guarantee.
He is in last,
Well, I
but
believe that.
yeah. So the next closest bid was $21.
That's overbidding. Okay, who's available as far as quarterbacks right now?
So available quarterbacks right now: PJ Walker, Mitch Trubisky are the only other ones. Cooper Rush, but that's
Cooper
not
Rush
going.
is probably not playing. Trubisky's
Right.
playing this week,
And PJ Walker's playing.
this
Well,
week, so
Trubisky's not necessarily playing.
But he could.
So-
but the
Yeah.
point is, his team doesn't need one
Yeah.
because he has
Until they're
Zach
bye.
Wilson and Lamar Jackson.
when is between those two guys? When is their first bye?
Bye week for Lamar Jackson's week 10, so you're still multiple weeks away.
Okay.
Zach Wilson's bye is week 10, multiple weeks away.
Oh shit, that's
So-
idiot.
Yeah.
In a super flex, he's got two guys. I never pay attention to bye weeks unless it's a super flex league where there's only 32 starters.
And I would save my fab, and I would rather throw in, I don't know, James Conner into your super flex spot.
Oh, right, because you
Or-
don't have to play a quarterback.
Right.
You don't have to play a quarterback.
Or
You can
Taysom
play
Hill in
anybody
your
in
super
that.
flex spot. I
Yep.
mean, Robert Tunyon. I mean, you could throw anyone. He has Devin Duvernay still in his taxi squad. You could throw him the fuck in there.
That's fucking nuts, dude. By the
So-
way, I think it's really awesome that so you and I made this really fun trade right before the season, or maybe right after the season started, of where we swapped a couple of players. And
The Hill trade?
Yeah, and I ended up
Yep.
with Kenneth Walker.
Yeah.
And
I had Brees Hall.
yeah, you got Brees Hall, and so, like again, this is a trade that at the end of the season, I'm not sure that either of us are going to know exactly who totally won this one. Right now, you're definitely ahead because Hill and Brees Hall are both out of the gate strong.
And my extra first rounds this year.
Yep, exactly. And who did I get in return? I got
You
Kenneth
got
Walker
and Austin Eckler.
Austin Eckler, by the way, who's been awesome.
Yeah.
So
and Kenneth Walker, who's so far been really fucking good.
and who's now going to be the number one running back in Seattle,
Yeah.
a team that wants to run the ball more than anybody else.
Yeah.
So again, I don't feel bad about this trade at all. Still, but that team is so good that Kenneth Walker is still on my taxi. Like
Yeah.
I haven't pulled him out yet, and I will eventually when I get to bye weeks for my running backs. But for right now, I still get to hold him back, and I feel like it's fucking.
I think
great.
it's ready for you need to fire sell some of those seasoned running backs out of there for some picks.
I know I've been sending out trade offers for stuff, and I think
Not to one of us, because
no, you guys
We're
are
in the
too,
know.
You guys are too smart. No, I'm trying to pick on the dum dums. You guys know how I do. Like I'm out there just raping everybody.
speaking of, if you want to feel
Well,
really bad about
if
you,
we're raping, I mean,
I'm raping you.
if you want to see a really bad team, you should go look at number 10 team in our league right now.
Number 10.
Yeah.
Don't you feel jealous about? Not jealous, but guilty.
yeah, the number 10 team in our
No.
league is because of you.
No. Poor decision making is not my fault.
I feel like you Deshaun Watson and like you were Jobber. Like I just want to take some pictures.
No. Well, at least you got his drink out of it, okay? You know what I'm saying?
I'll give my head's all light.
By the way, Jeffrey Dahmer. Like, if you guys haven't watched that Netflix show yet, like, it's super good. Like, but it's also pretty fucked up, as you would expect.
Have you searched the Polaroid pictures?
Have I searched the Polaroid pictures?
Yeah, the online Google Jeffrey Dahmer Polaroids.
Oh, like the actual real life ones? No.
I did.
Yeah?
Do you want to see one?
No, I don't think I do.
Yeah. There's literally like a desk like this.
Yeah.
There's only a couple of them that can be found out there. And on that has like a little, I don't know if it's whatever it was. There's a guy's decapitated hands,
Sure.
his head, and then his dick. All in a row. Not on his body.
At least he's organized.
Then the other one I saw was he had this guy over the like backwards on the bathtub, literally gutted, rib cage open, just
Nice.
How would you feel being those cops? Like you pick up like
Speaking of that, so I've been watching the show now.
Yeah.
I'm on like episode 4
Okay.
or 5. I think I just started
We're about
episode
where
5.
you're at, yeah.
He should have been caught so many times.
oh yeah, he almost got caught after his first murder.
Right.
He got pulled over with the body in the bags in the
Literally.
backseat. Yeah.
I
He
wonder
had
how
a
much of this is true.
No,
Like,
I looked
It
that
is.
up
You
because
did?
I was curious. He literally got pulled over for drunk driving with a body in
at
bags.
17 or 18 years old.
Yeah.
I think he was 19. I
19?
think he was 19 at that point.
Something
he's
like
out
that.
of
The
college
cop
already.
literally told him to go home.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
nowadays, you'd be fucking in jail and they would have found the bodies.
To be
Yeah.
fair, I have been pulled over going like way too fast and literally running from the cops, and they've been like, "Look, don't do that, man. Like, stop. Don't run from the cops."
But
And
you weren't drunk.
I wasn't drunk. I was on a motorcycle and I was speeding and I ran from the cops and they caught me and that time and he was like, "Man, that
in
was-
Mexico.
that was stupid. Don't do that." And I was like, "All right." And he was like, "So what kind of bike you got?" And I'm like, "Let me tell you all about it, good sir." But again, no dead bodies in my saddlebags or
Yeah.
anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I did give him a blowy though.
that's
That's
good.
nice.
Polite thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, between that and like the smell in his apartment, the fact that they returned the drunken 14-year-old boy back to him,
Yeah.
like,
Dude, they're
what
like,
the
"Hey, here's
fuck?
this victim. Got away. Here you go."
Yeah,
Even when the neighbor
Yeah.
Yeah.
is calling
Yeah.
and then calling after the cops leave, going, no, that's a child.
yeah. Did you?
Child, are you sure it's not a child?
And did you know that was the younger brother, of the guy he went to prison for sexually assaulting a year before?
I did.
Yeah,
Didn't know that.
Nuts, dude.
Yo.
Like,
And
I
the-
didn't know anything about Jeffrey Dahmer. Like,
Oh,
I knew nothing about it prior to watching
Did
the
you
show.
know that he was a cannibal?
I knew that. I
Did you
knew
know
he
that
was
a gay cannibal.
No,
Okay.
I knew that he was a serial killer.
Yeah.
Serial killer,
Sure.
and that he ate some of his victims.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that he was gay. I didn't know that he had only killed men. Like I had no, like I didn't
I haven't
know
gotten
any
to
of
the
that
end of the
stuff.
series. Maybe he got wild and got himself a girl too, but
No,
I don't
it's
think he did.
it's just men
Yep.
Just been.
and boys. I mean,
Yeah.
technically, so
And boys.
But I wrote one of
Boys
his,
to men.
and you have Audible. You should download one of his biographies. It's
Yeah.
fucking a deep dive. Yeah, it's just like blows your mind some of the shit that he got away with or how he did, and he was very candid after the fact talking
Yeah, yeah.
about what
Yeah,
he
yeah.
did.
Well, and the fact that he didn't like this first kill, and then it was 9 years later
Yeah.
before he killed the next person.
He was trying to sedate it with like the mannequins and stuff
Yeah,
like that. And
Sure.
like
Who doesn't want to fuck a
what
mannequin? We've all been
sucks,
there,
like
right?
drilling holes in guys' head, trying to create a zombie by putting acid and shit
Yeah.
in it. It's dark as shit.
Yeah.
What's really fucked up is that the neighbor across she did live wall to wall. She actually lived across the hall from him, and the smell would come in underneath her door and shit.
Well,
but
yeah.
he brought over extra meat he had. She's pretty sure she ate human
Yeah.
at some point because, well, they're low income.
All right.
He's like, you're not gonna pass by a roast.
All right. I have had this debate 100 times, and I will stick to this. Somebody who dies of natural causes and has volunteered for their family to donate their organs and meat, would you try a flank steak, a thigh steak,
do you know
an ass cheek?
there is a condition that you develop from eating human flesh?
On the regular, yes, but maybe just like a fucking like
a one-time special meal,
like a stir fry. You know, just whipping up a quick little something, little kebab. You know.
Well, my dad always told me I could go eat his ass or whatever. It's just, like, no, I don't think so, because by the time you die, like if you're old age, that's some gristly, hard ass meat.
You definitely want somebody who's like died of cancer or something, right? Like maybe like a car crash.
Yeah.
You know, like a decapitation, like a
car crash, maybe, because it's already tenderized.
right, exactly. Like you get some and maybe you get that last little like flush, last little flush of fucking like adrenaline in the system. You get to eat that.
Yeah.
That what's that stuff called that the celebrities supposedly eat? They scare the children, it floods their system, and then they eat the children.
Oh, the
Yeah, I'm not.
adrenal gland.
It's
It's from fucking Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
no. This is the new thing that they were talking about with when Jeffrey Epstein came out.
Stem
and all
cells?
that. No, it was fuck. I gotta look it up. You guys continue. Dude. What the fuck, man?
I mean, you could try it now. You're gonna need some water to wash it down.
Oh my god, it's like a chocolate like milk, like it's like a just like a missing milk.
I've
my
seen,
God.
I've seen the the charcoal seasoning for steaks. I mean, just sprinkle a little bit on there and sear it. You never know.
Anyways, so back to football, since we got off on a real weird tangent there.
I see a text down there that I can't see. I
Yeah.
don't know what it is.
Yeah, Scott needs to scroll down so I can see that.
You're welcome.
Okay. So,
Injury-wise, we're still on injuries.
yeah.
Not a ton
Adrenochrome.
of adrenochrome.
Adrenochrome.
Yeah.
So it's this chemical that's excreted when you cause intense pain or fear or something like that. And this is supposedly how Hollywood keeps their youthfulness. Is
I like it.
Jennifer Aniston goes out
Interesting.
there, tortures a child, and then breathes in, much like Dr. Sleep, breathes in their youth.
They're literally hocusing
Yes,
it off of the
Yeah.
But anyways, not a huge amount of injuries. A lot of carryovers from before. Biggest one, Hollywood Brown's out on IR.
Yes.
So
He's gonna be out for a
Robert
while.
Anderson got traded there.
And
Jonathan
do we care?
Taylor.
Let me ask you real quick.
D-Hop is back.
You kind of blew past that there. Robbie Anderson. Do we care?
I need to see it.
He's worth a stash.
So you're gonna pick him up, put him on your bench.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You at this point you would have to, because
D-Hop's back.
if he comes if the Arizona Cardinals come out
Yeah.
and look like the Arizona Cardinals could,
Yeah.
Robbie Anderson could be good.
Yeah.
He's great deep threat. So I mean,
So he's got that opportunity.
Right. And when all of the coverage is being being funneled towards D-Hop.
hopping.
Yeah. Like, they could very well come out and look real good this week.
Frodo and I could probably look pretty good across from D-Hop. Like,
Yeah.
But so if
You
Robbie,
can run a 40-yard dash in 9 seconds, right?
I could at least put up some Kyle Pitts stats.
yes, Kyle Pitts. Touchdown, Kyle Pitts.
I could.
What's up?
I could do what Russell Wilson's doing. I can't even see over the line.
I could catch 15 yards and a half.
yes, I think I could too.
Yeah.
I'd get fucking leveled.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to know: is there a stat from that game? Does the defense from interceptions have more return yards than he had passing?
Probably.
Did you know that he has more than double the bathrooms than touchdowns?
I sent
Yep.
that. I think I sent that TikTok.
So one of you
earlier,
guys
yeah.
sent that to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's on at 7.
he's got five touchdowns.
5 touchdowns, and he has
12 bathrooms.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
He may not hit it.
He may not hit it.
Why do you need that many bathrooms?
I don't know.
Like, I understand having 2,
Like, you
especially if you have
He's
one of me.
Mr. Unlimited.
Mister. Mr. Unlimited.
I mean, the good thing is most likely if one bathroom's out of toilet paper, your other one probably has one in it.
Dude, that's dangerous.
All right, whatever. Anyway,
Did you see the TikTok I sent you of his 7 most?
yeah, cringiest moments.
Cringiest
Yeah.
moments.
Yeah, and I didn't actually agree with it. There were more cringy moments in there.
I would
Yeah.
want a toilet paper delivery system in that house, like where you just hit a button and it comes through the wall.
Yeah, sort of like one of those like built-in vacuums.
So that way, no matter where you are, if you run out of
just got
toilet
out.
paper, you just click a button and it just like
they all
bank
got
vault or bank.
Yeah. They all
Drive
have
up.
like golden bidets in them.
Oh, dude, I would love a bidet. I've never experienced a bidet. Have you experienced a bidet?
Yes,
Is
they're
it-
magical.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, because I'm fat and I don't have to reach around.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. Look, if God doesn't like gays, why do you put her G spot up there? That's what I'm saying.
Yes,
like, that's all I'm
right.
saying. Like.
There's a community of Chad Daniels. You guys need to check him out. But he's talking about he's like my wife. He's like this. I think it was his wife at the time, and she's like decided we want to play with the G spot. He's like, and I'm a traditionally just 100% straight dude, but when I say that my dick made a sound and
Yes,
fired off where I
Todd,
thought
I have.
I had to go apologize to the neighbors because I shot my load through my wall through theirs. It's a different.
It's just a totally different. I haven't experienced it. If my wife really wanted to, I'd have to. I'd have to say yes. I'd have to say yes. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go in there and get it done. Like if it's good enough for Deadpool, if it's good enough for Ryan Reynolds, it's good enough for me.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like this homeboy. So yeah, right. Extra bathrooms is a must. All right, we got to get through our fucking show tonight.
All
yeah,
right,
Jesus,
so-
you guys are all over the place.
So from last week, Scott and I tied with 8. Frodo had a rough week with 5,
Yeah.
and Todd had 6.
Suck it.
You're welcome for giving you an extra one, convincing you to go with New England.
You did too.
I did.
That was an absolute turnaround for me.
So going into this next week, Scott, you'll be picking first. I'll pick second.
Wait a minute. I thought you and I tied.
We did
Why do I go first then?
because I made the rules.
That's fair. It checks out.
But you haven't gone first at all yet.
I
Yeah, you
have.
did.
The first time.
Yeah,
The first time?
The first time we
How
made
many
this
weeks
whole
ago
list.
was that?
3.
I went first.
Keep
When we were
flipping.
remote.
Keep flipping.
I gotta pee.
No, I went first 2 weeks ago.
Oh, 2 weeks ago? All right.
Yeah.
All right. I'll give it to you. All right, I'll go first.
So we've got New Orleans at Arizona. Arizona's 2-point favorites.
New York,
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
New Orleans. That's different than New York.
New Orleans with just Chris Olave as far as receivers outside of
Yeah, Arizona
Alvin
for
Kamara
sure.
and
Say it
Taysom
again?
Hill. Yeah.
Yeah. Taysom Hill's going to be in there, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so I think Hobbit's shitting in
But
a
it's
woods or
Arizona.
something right
It's Arizona with
D-Hop
D-Hop back
for the first time this season.
for the first time this season.
So in let's not forget that this is not D-Hop coming back from an injury.
Right.
This is D-Hop coming back from a
Suspension.
suspension for cheating.
And Marshawn Lattimore's out.
Marshawn Lattimore's out. Yeah, this is 100% Cardinals.
No word for me. Gotta open wide.
Gotta open wide. Just spread them cheeks, buddy. Just reach back there.
so,
and-
trying to
so
find
you
the
got
use.
Arizona.
yeah,
Arizona's
for sure.
2-point favorites. So.
Yeah, Arizona for sure. I'm ready to put a double down on this.
The good thing is this is I mean, obviously tomorrow, but he's gonna be busy. Kyler Murray's gonna be busy tomorrow. It's not like he's got Friday
Oh,
and
this
Saturday
is a Thursday night game, right?
Thursday
Yeah.
night
Thursday
game.
night games suck. But
So he's got, but he can't be
in
playing
Arizona?
video games. He can't be playing.
There's not
video
enough
games.
time.
Right?
Right.
And it doesn't come out until tomorrow, so he won't be able to play it until after the game.
sure, this is tomorrow, or
Yes.
this is in Arizona.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's going to be able to go home
Mm-hmm.
after his victory
Let's start the campaign.
and start the campaign.
You might even just go back to the locker room and start.
Face clan.
I'm gonna take AZ.
Todd's taking AZ as well.
Are we? Or is that sweet?
Yep.
Yeah.
With Marshawn Lattimore out and Andy Dalton, I think, is still starting and all this other shit.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think Arizona.
Andy Dalton might be starting even after Jameis Winston comes back.
Very well could.
Yeah.
You got to eat that W.
Next up, we've got Cleveland traveling to Baltimore for a divisional game, with Baltimore being 6.5-point favorites
In Baltimore?
in Baltimore.
Oh wait, I picked first on that last one. You didn't pick yet. Oh, did you just write it down?
Yeah, I said we were all going with Arizona.
Yeah, but you didn't write it. Oh wait, no, I'm supposed to pick first.
Yeah,
I already forgot.
Yeah. So
More
you've got
whiskey.
Cleveland against
Almost
Baltimore. In Baltimore, 6.5-point favorites.
Cleveland, huh?
Who just lost to
Go Baltimore. Baltimore's going to fall apart in the fourth, like they always
lost
do.
to New England by like 14 points.
I'm going to go with New England. Or not New England. Fuck it. I'm going with New England. Fuck it. New England, take it. Yeah, I'm going Baltimore.
I
The spread is, like, at first I hated the spread, but then I was like, shit, it's right, I think. It's a tough one.
I think Baltimore's going to win this game no matter what. It's just whether or not I think they're going to beat the spread. But
That's the big deal.
I can't vote for Cleveland.
You just, like, it's in your genetics, man. You
Yeah.
just can't do it.
Todd is saying Cleveland, so what do you got, Frodo? Are you going
Cleveland.
Baltimore or Cleveland?
No, Baltimore. Sorry, Baltimore. Baltimore.
All right.
Wait, so we're all Baltimore against Todd's Cleveland?
Cleveland,
Yep.
yeah.
Okay.
Next up, we have Tampa Bay, who just lost. I guess no, they just lost.
They lost to the Steelers.
To the Steelers,
Going
going to
ass Steelers.
going to Carolina. 11-point favorites.
Ah, fuck. That's horrible. That's some dog shit.
Wow.
Okay. Is
Jesus.
Giselle fucking anyone else right now? Because
I think Meek Mills.
is Antonio Brown?
Do we need Tom Brady to go angry style like dodgeball?
Yeah, right. Fuck me sideways. PJ Walker is starting.
Yeah. No Robbie Anderson now.
Can I make the caveat that CMC is still there?
Nope.
No.
Carolina just lost to LA by I think like 13 or 14 points.
Tampa. LA's bad. LA's bad.
Yeah.
No ifs, ands. Okay, well, I'm not going to scroll down until you guys pick.
Okay.
We don't know what Todd picked yet.
Well, again, it's one of those I think Tampa Bay wins.
Yeah.
I just don't know if they win
Yeah.
by enough. I'll say Tampa Bay as well.
I got to go Tampa Bay.
Todd says Pittsburgh.
It's Carolina.
I don't know what you just said, Todd. That's not a word. Fuck that. So red. Saran. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
Todd, be clear.
It's Tampa Bay or Carolina.
Tampa Bay, Carolina. Be a man. Here we go. All right, what do we got?
Carolina.
All right.
All right.
Fuck,
So-
I'm so hungry. We got to get through this shit, man.
All right.
I'm about to eat this
Amanda's
elephant
picking me up
dick over
muchas
here.
gracias.
Next up, we've got Atlanta traveling to Cincinnati. Cincinnati is 6.5-point favorites. I'm going to say Cincinnati wins. I'm picking this one first because I got to call my wife real quick.
Okay.
So I'll let you finish up.
Cincinnati.
Yep.
Jesus, man. All right, so Cincinnati seems to have kind of figured their shit out by 6.5. Is that what it is?
6.5. Yeah.
6.5. Yeah, I think I'm going to go 6.5 for Cincinnati.
Okay.
I think they can clear that.
And I'm gonna do ATL.
Ooh.
So
Bold move, Cotton. Bold
R
move.
and S, and Frodo is there. Okay, next up
Hang
is
on, Todd's going Atlanta by
yeah.
points. Yep, he likes the points too.
Todd there too. Next is Detroit traveling to Dallas. Dallas is a 7-point favorite.
I actually like that spread. That's good. I'm gonna take Detroit on this one.
Detroit, okay.
Yeah, I think Cowboys are gonna win, or it's gonna be close.
Todd, what about you?
Well, what do you want to do? You want to jump on them Cowboy dicks?
Dallas, okay.
It seems like the safe call.
Dallas with Todd. This is a hard one for me because I hate Dallas.
I know, right? This is a really tough one.
I'm going to take Detroit just because of the spread.
You especially hate Dallas because for fantasy purposes,
Right?
Like they just always find a way to screw you over.
Right. So I think Dallas wins the game, but I think the Lions, after getting embarrassed the last couple times, are going to stay close.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
we
does
wait
hurt.
for Rich, or we want to go to the next
No,
one?
we'll just skip on to the next one and
Okay.
come back to it.
Next one is New York Giants, the 5-1 New York Giants, going
5-1.
to Jacksonville. Jacksonville is a 3-point favorite.
Jeez, it's a little bit tough, but I'm going to go with the Giants. I got to trust in them.
NYG.
Yeah. It feels weird to say Giants because, Giants, but they've been playing a really solid game this year.
They have. And Jacksonville's been way better than we thought they were.
Absolutely.
I'm going to lean Jacksonville on this one.
Okay. Todd's taking Giants.
Giants, okay. Frodo. I'm on an island there. Yeah, depending on what he picks. It's a hard one there, but I think the Giants' run has been they played well, but I think they shot their load with the Packers, and I think they're going to the last couple ones. And
Absolutely. I mean, like, look, you can't.
it's one of those trap games where, like, oh, for them, they might be like lackadaisical.
Right. And it's at Jacksonville, so.
Yeah, it's going to be humid as shit there. Oh, perfect. Our stenographer is back, so he.
All right.
We went up ahead a couple. So
Okay.
you picked Cincinnati.
Yep.
Me and Todd went with Atlanta, and then there's the Detroit and Dallas game.
I'm going to say Dallas is going to win that game.
So you and Todd are there, and then New York Giants and Jags.
Right. This is a good
3
one.
points.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to say Giants are within 3, if not wins straight out. Next up, we've got Indy traveling to Tennessee. Tennessee is 2.5-point favorites.
I think Jonathan Taylor's back this week. I don't know how healthy he's going to be. I don't know how much they're going to utilize him.
Also,
He was pretty close to coming back this last week, though. So,
Naeem Hines could be back as well.
Yeah.
yeah, Deion Jackson is not the guy anymore.
No.
If they both go down again, Deion Jackson's the guy.
Yeah.
But
They both have to be out, though.
They both have to be out because Deion Jackson took over the Naheem Hines role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, look, I gotta go with Indy on this one. Titans don't seem to have the whole thing figured out yet, and Indy is closer to doing that, I think.
Indy should be so much better than they actually
Absolutely.
are.
Yeah.
Is this a Frank Reich?
Do you know
Reich?
that Atlanta is 6-0 against the spread?
I did know that. Yeah, they're just killing it right now.
So you're saying Indy? I mean, everything on paper says Indy should win this game.
That's why I'm not going with them. I still believe in some of the Tennessee Derrick Henrys. After watching that Denver Indy game, I don't believe in anything Colts.
Yeah, I'm leaning Tennessee on this one. So I'm just gonna stick with it. That's my gut is saying Tennessee.
It's your guts. Yeah, so I'm on an island here.
Yeah.
All three of you guys are going titties, and I'm over here just hanging out. Let's do it.
Next up, we've got Green Bay traveling to Washington,
Oh, God, this is such an important game for Green Bay. So Green Bay,
and they are 5-point favorites.
they just lost to
Giants,
Giants.
and then the Jets.
And then the Jets. Yeah.
So they lost Giants, then they lost to the Jets.
Yep.
And now they're going against Washington.
Yep.
Right.
Now, the Giants have been better than we anticipated. The Jets have been better than we anticipated. Washington has not. And so now we're looking at, this is the prove it moment for them.
Yeah.
Like, how bad is Green Bay right now? This is going to, if they don't crush Washington, I think their season is over. Like, they could win and still have a season done.
Because if they lose this game,
Yeah.
and then they go to the Bills next week,
Yeah.
Coming off of a bye.
coming off of a bye, and
Yep.
they go down 4 games in a row,
Yeah.
It's over.
like, you're not coming back from that at that point.
No.
What's the spread?
5 points.
I'm taking Green Bay.
I think Green Bay wins this game
I think
by
Green
5
Bay's
points.
going to come
Same
back
thing
and
here,
they're
yeah.
gonna-
Because
They're
you know
gonna
what?
make it
I believe in the Green Bay defense more than I believe in Carson Wentz.
Well, it's not even
Todd.
Carson Wentz anymore.
Oh, yeah. That's
Todd
right.
is on an
Heineke.
island.
Ooh.
He wants them commies, you commie bastard. You commie loving bastard.
Then we've got the New York Jets going to Denver. And for some fucking reason, Denver is a 1-point favorite.
Oh, that's really a pick 'em. It's mostly giving the edge to the home because they're up in Mile High.
Yeah.
This is a tough one.
I'm taking the Jets. If it was
God.
any more,
I fucking hate.
it's gonna be within 3 points because that's what all of the Denver games are.
Oh my God, I hate that I'm going to do this.
You're gonna say the Jets are gonna win, aren't you?
Yes.
Because they are.
Yeah. Oh my God. I hate. I will almost refuse to ever pick the Jets because I hate them.
Yeah.
But
Do you honestly think Denver can win this game?
no, I don't think Denver could win a shadow boxing match against themselves.
Here's the thing that's swaying me. The thing that's pulling me is that apparently
Melvin Gordon's starting.
Hackett and Gordon had a good conversation, and Hackett is going to commit to him. And I think that that's a big deal. Not in terms of is Melvin Gordon better than anybody else or worse than anybody else, but in terms of there is a direct game plan.
Right,
They
but
build a game plan around one guy being able to be a part of the offense, other than Russell Wilson.
ugh,
Yes, I think
taking Denver.
they're going to start to turn things around. I don't think that they're riding the ship. I don't think it's about to be a 41-2 blowout. But
you're taking Denver.
I'm going to take Denver.
All right.
Todd is
Taking Denver.
fuck Denver,
I mean,
but Denver.
It's his home. It's his
it's
team.
his team.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
Next up, we've got Houston traveling to Las Vegas. Las Vegas
Las
is
Vegas
a
Raiders.
1-4 team that is a 7-point favorite.
Okay, I know where I'm going with this one. I knew this beforehand because I looked at the betting spreads.
It's Houston, right?
Fuck yes.
Yeah. 7 points.
7 points, man.
Josh McDaniels should not be a head coach in the NFL. Stay a coordinator.
There are certain people that
I am trying really hard to convince myself to take the Raiders. And
Why?
I can't. Because their talent is, there's so much talent there. Darren Waller, by the way, did not practice today. That matters. I don't know how much it matters, but
shouldn't. They still have Mac Hollins. They still have
Devontae Adams.
Devontae
They still
Adams,
have
they
Josh
have
Jacobs.
Renfro and
Renfro. Yeah.
I think it's the spread. I think the Raiders could win the game, but they're not going to do it by a
They're
touchdown.
not going to blow them out. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they haven't been able to beat anybody by. I mean, they've only won one game.
Yeah, it's and
Denver.
Bless me.
it's always been close.
Denver. Denver sucks.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Houston.
Playing
Todd
Denver is kind of like the
on-
fluffer of the NFL.
Denver is the fluffer of the NFL. Yeah, yeah. Do you think that? Okay, so Family Guy had this old bit, like early Family Guy.
Todd's either going to do really well or really bad.
Yeah. So Family Guy had this bit about George Bush going up and having a press conference saying, God is on my side. I believe I've talked to God and he believes that this is the direction we should go. And then Jesus comes out and he's like, I told you nothing of this sort. You do not know me. I do not know you. Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, totally distancing stuff. This is what I feel like God is doing with Russell Wilson right now.
When he's praying,
God is like, hey, like, fuck you, guy. Like,
okay. How did the walking away from the mic? That's right. Just from fucking 15 feet away, not get on one of the cringiest moments.
I don't know. There was a lot of cringiest moments. And by the way, not all of them are in a Denver uniform.
Or him sitting on the side, pass or run. You gotta tell him or pass or run.
Tell him, guys, pass. We're doing a pass. They're doing a pass.
While he's just sitting down with his ass parked on the bench.
That's me trying to teach my nephew's t-ball team or baseball team how to be involved. Like, how do you be a dugout? Like, you teach 13-year-olds how to do that. You don't have to teach adult men how to do that.
No.
And if you're telling them how to do that and they're not listening, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like there was one of them where he was like, pass, and then the whole sideline was like, pass. They don't care.
No.
They are not
Nobody
following
cares.
him right
No.
now.
You know he tries to have a special handshake with everyone in there.
Yeah, right.
Jesus.
Jesus.
It's just
Christ.
so cringy.
So
cringy.
cringy. And I hate that term. I think that's such a fucking millennial douchey
But
thing to say.
that's what this
Never
is.
fits somebody else better.
Yeah. Next up, we've got Seattle traveling to LA to face the Chargers.
Ooh.
Chargers are 6-point favorites.
Yeah, this is a fun one.
Chargers are 6-point favorites?
Yes.
I don't think
I
don't think Chargers are as good as their record, and I don't think
However,
Seattle is as good as their record.
I do believe that Keenan Allen is back in this game.
No. I don't think he is.
That was definitive.
Really?
I saw something that he was still not full part. They was still questionable to be in the game.
Oh. Well, I mean,
It could be.
everything I saw was saying that it was looking like he was going to be ready for week 7.
Let me look up some Keenan Allen news real quick.
I could be wrong. I could have misread it. Okay. Do you want to go first, or you want me to answer? Because I think I already know how I want to
Go ahead and go.
I'm going to take Seattle. Settle at +6.
I mean, the +6 is the hard part.
Yeah, the Chiefs have to win by. The Chargers have to win by.
But I'm taking I'm taking the Chargers.
Yeah. Keenan Allen is questionable, and he is not pulling up any information. Hang on, everybody. Listen to me scroll through some news. Officially limited Wednesday. He had 3 practices last week. Was out again on Monday night. But then,
If he's limited on tomorrow's and Friday's practice, I would not bet on him being very well involved. Or if
here's the deal,
pitch
though,
count.
is Josh Palmer and Gerald Everett and Donald Parham are all questionable. But like on the risky side of questionable. Yeah, I don't love this. It's a tough one. Again, though, Chargers have not looked great. They have not looked great, and
they play down to their opponent.
I think their play calling has been very sus.
They barely beat the Broncos.
But Seattle has been fairly easy to run on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure. So if you got Eckler, you fucking smash.
Yeah.
Smash that play. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna take Seattle on this one.
Surprise.
Hey, you and me are on the same boat.
What's up?
I don't know who Todd's taking.
Todd stopped paying attention to us, so let's move on.
Apparently.
Who did you take?
I took the Chargers.
Yeah.
Next up, we have KC going to San Francisco.
San Francisco.
KC is 2.5-point favorites.
Wow.
Okay.
Casey.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Rich.
I get it.
No chance. I mean, I'm sorry.
If they pull it out,
2.5
I'd be
points?
fucking ecstatic for you.
They're saying that on an even field, basically, KC is a half point better. And KC is very healthy, except for I think their offensive line is a little beat up. But they're a very healthy team overall compared to San Francisco. Who you taking, Rick?
I'm taking San Francisco. I don't think it's going to happen, but
You-
I
you
have
have to.
to
Okay.
have faith in
Okay.
my team.
Yeah.
Okay, as long as you admit to being a homer, I'm okay with it.
I hope they win.
I mean, we have to.
And they could win. If
The
they
good
win,
thing-
it's like a 1 point, and you still cover
The
the
good
spread.
thing is LA is on a bye.
Yeah,
The
Rams.
Cardinals,
you already
Rams
know
are on a
about.
bye.
yeah, Rams are on a bye. The Cardinals are a game behind us, anyways.
Yep.
And
Seattle.
It's so Seattle. Technically, Seattle could be the number 1 team in the division after this week if they win and San Francisco loses.
So fucked up, dude.
Like,
This is
You
one of my
could be.
favorite seasons in a long time. Like this is a like you said before. Seattle is very fun to watch because
Yeah.
there's a lot of storylines going on, and yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah.
next
all right.
up, we've got
I hope your Niners win, but by 1 point.
I always hope that your Niners win, unless you're
Yeah.
playing Seattle, and that's just nothing but love.
I mean, it would be really nice, but after KC having a tough loss,
You're coming back, and
You never know.
It doesn't look good for
It all-
my team.
All it takes is a couple defensive big plays, and it can jump ahead and then try to play.
Kittle is on his way back though.
Yes.
Yeah.
and that's very helpful.
Yes, Kittle had a good game. Ayuk had a good game.
You get it.
Debo had a quiet
So-
game, but
Debo had a quiet game.
Yeah.
But that's the difference is they
They can
weren't
put it all
they weren't
together.
running the ball. They were needing to get bigger pass plays.
Yeah.
And bigger pass plays are always going to be Ayuk
Yeah.
and Kittle.
Yes.
Yep.
Kittle's going to be your third down, your guarantee target.
Yep.
That snatches the
I
ball.
could see
That's
Kittle
eight,
having a
and
huge
that 8
ass game
feet. Yeah.
this week.
and I could see Debo because they're going to try to.
Not to mention, it's National Tight End Day.
Yeah.
Oh,
National Tight End Day with Kittle against Kelsey.
Wow.
nice,
Yeah.
dude.
That's like what was it when the Hulk and
NFL schedulers.
Hulk
Good
and
job.
Macho Man teamed up? It's
Yeah.
Next up, we've got Pittsburgh traveling to Miami
Ooh, revenge game.
with Tua back.
There's a lot of moving parts in that game.
And Miami is 7-point favorites.
Oh,
I'm taking Miami.
Yeah.
But I think Miami wants to come out and make a statement. Is because they've lost 3. They really glaringly showed they need Tua there at quarterback. And
Lost 3, but still have the number 1 wide receiver in the league
Yeah.
right now
Um,
as far as yardage.
Yep.
what's he on pace for? Like 2,000 yards right
So
now.
it's ridiculous.
He's on pace for the record right now.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
And that's not going to let up. They're literally.
Yeah,
gonna,
he's over 700 yards 6 games into the season.
Yeah.
God, dude. It's awesome.
Brian Flores is coming back to Miami. This is the first time back.
Oh yeah.
He's on the defensive.
Forgot. that
I
he was
guarantee
the
you.
DC, I think.
Yeah. Linebackers coach.
Linebackers coach. Okay.
I guarantee you. Tua said all the right things at the press conference. I guarantee he's like, fucking coach, I want to fucking light their shit up. Like, they want to hang like 40 points on the Steelers.
Can I ask you why? Let's get the backstory on that. So
So-
why does Tua want to throw 40 down on Flores?
Flores was the one that
Who when he got fired, we all went, what the fuck?
right, and then all the stories came out. He was fucking undermining Tua the entire time. He never wanted Tua there.
Yeah.
Was fucking. I couldn't quote stuff, but it was just an absolute fucking asshole to a lot of the team.
Really?
And it was the strife was like it was literally like they said all
Who
the
did we hear this from?
players
Players.
were like it was like you had to walk on eggshells. That's not a good locker room to be in.
A lot of locker rooms are run that way.
And-
though.
and-
a lot of locker rooms are the tough guy.
Right, and
No.
and even Fitzmagic had said that the strife was there, like how he came in, how he was put in, way it was, like kind
Yeah.
of thrown in was kind of weird.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of animosity there.
Yeah.
because like you could see like in interviews, like Tua always tries to say the right thing.
Yeah.
And he's very mum about like, no, I brushes it off or whatever.
He's
so.
a quarterback.
Yeah.
He's a quarterback that goes out there and says what he's supposed to say and then walks off.
Right,
Yeah.
and you can
Not
tell
everybody can be Fitzmagic.
you can tell he's like he's having to bite his tongue. He wants to say like, well, we didn't see eye to eye. He didn't want me there. He didn't.
Yeah.
It made it clear that he didn't want me as the quarterback. And
Yeah. So we're looking at Miami +7,
Yeah, Miami
minus
seven.
-7. That's a big spread.
it's throwback jersey night and the 50th anniversary of the perfect season.
Todd, the only game you missed is Seattle at Chargers. Chargers -6.
I'm gonna take Pittsburgh with all due respect.
I think the Dolphins still win, but
I think the Dolphins are gonna win, but I think it's gonna be a close game because Pittsburgh has been playing.
I could see this be the same as the Bills Pittsburgh game.
Yeah.
I wrote down Miami already.
Okay.
Todd's wrong.
Yeah, Todd took Pittsburgh. And then the Monday night game is Chicago traveling to New England. I really don't feel like this is going to be difficult, but New England is 7.5-point favorites.
How the fuck does Chicago, the Saints, and Bronco get so many primetime games?
I don't know, man.
Because the Broncos look great on paper. I get that. But
Broncos, that makes perfect sense, especially because of their early season
we
games.
knew Chicago was going to
Well,
suck.
and everybody thought that Broncos were going to be really good this year, so
Yeah.
it makes sense to early in the
Right.
season getting the whole Russell Wilson brand
Right.
Yeah.
on
Right.
paper, getting it all like leveled up.
Week 1 was a win-win for the NFL. No matter what, whoever won, that was going to be a great game for the Broncos.
And it gets Russell
Ravens.
Wilson on the map for MVP candidate, all that shit. Except he's
not playing MVP level.
he might be in line for the LVP.
Yes.
The least valuable player.
Yes. I mean, at $260 million
Yes.
to put up 15 yards in the second half?
Yes.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
That should be a thing. There should be an
box-
LVP at the
An
end of the
LVP?
year. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's a box office flop is what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I do believe that Hackett is the primary culprit for that. We've already talked about that. I don't want to get
Yeah.
into this again. Okay, go ahead. So what was this last one here?
Chicago at New England. New England is 7.5-point favorites.
New England. I'm taking New England here.
Yeah, I'm taking
you-
Patriots.
You can't help it, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it.
that's Monday night's game.
That's Monday night's game.
So the Sunday night game is Miami.
Miami,
Yep.
Pittsburgh.
What's up, man? Sunday night
Yeah.
football.
Yep.
All right.
That's the first time, only the fourth time since 2006 the Dolphins have been on Sunday night.
I was
Football.
going to say, I don't remember
been
them
a while.
being on prime time in a while. So
I think if they finish the season off well, you'll see more prime times, especially with
Absolutely.
the way the Hill is playing.
absolutely,
Which I
absolutely.
think they're going to get flexed in because if you look at the last
couple
Sunday
of-
night
yeah.
game, it could be, and the Dolphins play the Bills the second to last week of the season, which is the last Sunday night game, and it's to be determined, and there's no time frame for that Dolphins game.
Right, absolutely. They're looking to be a hot. Fucking
They want
commodity
whatever the
this year.
best matchups are
Yeah,
going
yeah.
into that. So
Yeah.
Dolphins have a very easy schedule. They could go an absolute tear the next. They could go into the Niners game at 8-3.
Yeah.
I'd be happy with that.
Absolutely. So those are our picks in. I think Todd tuned out for a little bit, so we don't have the last pick on him. He'll text us that one there.
He's picking New England.
Look, we're jacked. Here's the thing to remember about watching Broncos on prime time.
don't.
It's better than March football
That's true.
because
Than
March
what?
football doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So
no, there's replays on NFL Network that I would much rather watch.
But in
I
that,
wouldn't.
in
I would rather
that
watch-
in that like June timeframe where you're like you've been through the drought for a while and there's nothing.
It's 2 months after
there's-
the draft.
Yeah, there's nothing good going on
There's
at
a
that
month
point
and a
in
half
time.
before.
And you're
camps.
just like, God, I just wish we could watch some fucking football.
Yep.
At that point, you might actually be entertained by it.
Yes.
Could be, yeah.
A meaningful game, even if it's a bad
Yeah.
NFL game. A bad NFL game is better than no NFL game.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So,
In Indy and Denver really tried hard to make that not a true statement.
But
That's true.
at the same time, with that game, I could not fucking stop watching it.
couldn't stop. Couldn't stop.
Couldn't
Watch the
stop.
whole fucking
I
game.
did.
The whole game.
The Bears in Denver, I checked in and out of that game
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that was just rough in,
like,
in
oh,
general.
they haven't got a
But it was
touchdown
like,
yet?
But the Indy and
It's like a train wreck.
Denver, I literally could not turn away.
Chargers in Denver was this last week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was watching that, and I probably would have stayed watching that, except my wife wanted to have some sex. So I was like,
Yeah,
"What's
yeah,
up?
fair
I'm gonna hit that. I'm gonna hit that." So, all right. So
You don't need to
follow.
use protection or anything.
Yeah, right.
You're
Follow
married.
me
Who
here
cares?
at Fantasy Unclean, Hobbit's Revenge for Frodo, and then Rick, point at your thing. That right there. Yeah. FF Mechanic there. Follow us all on Twitter, and if you don't, then fuck you, guy. Like, you know what I mean? Just like, the hell with you.
When in question, always go anal, because that's where the male G-spot is.
That's exactly right. That's what we learned tonight. So everybody, cheers. We'll see you guys next week.